That's great. So a couple of other things I'd like to talk about. So first of all, would you talk about how much protein an individual needs? You've got a method for working that out. So how many grams of protein someone should be getting per day?
Right. Okay. So now I don't think anybody really has to necessarily track out everything. I really don't want any of my patients, for example, to have to weigh and measure all their food and exactly calculate everything out. But I definitely want people to have a good ballpark feel for how much protein they should eat. And I typically recommend a gram per pound per day of ideal body weight, which is like your ultimate goal body weight or what you should weigh or your reference weight for your height. Like, for example, I'm a 5'10", 5'10" tall. And basically, if you look up the ideal body weight for a 5'10" male, it's 160 pounds. So I would roughly want to target 160 pounds per day. And so you're kind of trying to eat a gram per pound. I know it's a little bit different if you're using centimeters and kilograms, but and then you have to kind of be familiar with, well, how much grams of protein is in a food. Basically, a pound of leanish meat is about 100 grams of protein. So a pound of lean ground beef would be 100 grams of protein. A pound of just whole chicken or turkey would be 100 grams of protein. Really lean protein like white fish would be higher, maybe 120 grams per pound. But you're talking about a pound of meat being roughly 100 grams of protein, and that'll kind of get you in the ballpark. If you're a female who's 5'4" and you should weigh 120 pounds, so that's roughly 100 grams of 120 grams of protein, which is a little bit over a pound of meat a day, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So for New Zealand listeners, we're really looking at 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, roughly.
Roughly, yeah, exactly. Roughly 2 grams per kilogram of what you should weigh. If you're
ideal body weight, yeah.
150 kilograms, you should weigh, 70 kilograms. And so it would be 2 grams per kilo of what you should weigh. So if you're a 70 kilo average male, you'd want to be eating 140, 150. It's really 2.2 is the conversion. So like maybe 150 grams of protein.
And what about dividing that up into meals? We have the leucine threshold. So, sort of essentially we need 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per protein bolus, So we're looking at roughly, maybe 30 grams of protein per meal or a little bit more.
Right. I don't really sweat that too much because I have patients with such a wide variety of eating windows. So I have patients who just eat once a day, one giant meal a day, and they eat all their protein in one huge meal. And these people are fine. So obviously that's possible. I'm quite certain that in the past, in the Paleolithic, I'm sure humans were eating just a massive meal and then maybe not eating for a whole day or two. And so it has to be possible to meet your protein needs with one meal a day. I don't think that's necessarily optimal. And if you're a competitive bodybuilder, as you get leaner and leaner and leaner, you want to eat protein more and more frequently. So if you're a bikini competitor and you're 18% body fat and you're trying to get down to 14%, okay, now you might want to eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day with at least 30 grams of protein each. But your average person could just do intermittent fasting, fast for 16 hours, eat 2 meals and a snack in an 8-hour window, and then they could eat, 50 grams of protein in those 2 main meals and then a snack or something like that. So yeah, I would say though, if you're looking at it from just a traditional 3 meals a day, 12-hour eating window, you would want to get at least 30 grams of protein per meal, probably more like 40.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's good ballpark figures for people.